Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Tania Tahir, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Pediatrics in Holy Family Red Crescent Medical College. Today, I welcome you all to the 4th Scientific Congress and the first virtual scientific congress of BIMSCON 2020. First of all, I would like to thank BIMSCON to invite me as a facilitator in this congress because BIMSCON is the largest congress of medical students. Now, let's move our topic of discussion. Today, our topic of discussion is the neonatal resuscitation. I have divided this session into 4 parts. First of all, we have overview on neonatal resuscitation. On our second part of the session, we will have an hands-on training how to resuscitate a baby. Third one, you will have a question answer session. And lastly, we will have an assessment on this topic. Don't be afraid. If you listen the class properly and you follow my instructions, the assessment will be a very easy one for you. So let's move to our discussion. Now I am going to share the screen of our today's topic. Now, before going to the neonatal resuscitation, let's have a basic information regarding the topic. Who is a neonate? A neonate may be defined as any newborn from birth up to 28 days of his life. Okay, from birth up to 28 days of life. And what is resuscitation? Resuscitation literally means the action or process of reviving someone from unconsciousness or apparent death. But in case of neonatal resuscitation, we mean that we have to initiate breathing or help in establishing respiration in newborn just after birth. I repeat, in case of neonatal resuscitation, we mean that we have to initiate the breathing or establish respiration in a newborn just after birth, preferably within 1 minute of birth. That is, sometimes we call it golden 1 minute. We have to resuscitate and start breathing either spontaneously or with assisted within 1 minute of life. And what is golden 1 minute? I will have discussion in later part of my slide. Okay. Now, why resuscitation of newborn is important? We have to prevent the perinatal asphyxia. Do you know what is the term perinatal means? It is the time surrounding the delivery. WHO defines perinatal asphyxia as a failure to initiate and sustain breathing at birth. That means the baby is not able to take respiration either spontaneously or assisted. And there are many consequences of perinatal asphyxia. If perinatal asphyxia occurs, the child will have hypoxic injury in his brain or heart and kidney, and he may present as multi-organ failure at newborn period, or in the long term, they may present as cerebral palsy. So we have to prevent perinatal asphyxia, and thus neonatal resuscitation is so important. Another important point is perinatal asphyxia is the third major cause of neonatal death in the developing countries. And WHO estimates that 1 million babies die each year due to birth asphyxia. Now, this slide shows some common causes of neonatal death globally. You can see that perinatal asphyxia comprises at about 23% of the total neonatal death, though it is the third cause after preterm robot weight and neonatal sepsis, but it is the preventable cause of neonatal death. If we ensure neonatal resuscitation properly, so we can prevent perinatal asphyxia and subsequently prevent the neonatal death. Now, I know all of you know the ABC of resuscitation. Like other resuscitation, A, B, C is same in case of neonatal resuscitation also. A means airway should be kept open and clear. Breathing means whether spontaneous or assisted, and adequate circulation or oxygenated blood. In addition to A, B, C of resuscitation, in case of newborn resuscitation, another important point is the temperature. Yes, we have to maintain adequate body temperature because newly born babies are weight followed by birth, and heat loss is also significant. So maintenance of body temperature during resuscitation is very, very important. Otherwise, hypothermia may also cause perinatal asphyxia. Now, we will have some discussion or some flow charts regarding the steps of newborn care. I will give through the follow through through the flow chart, and after that I will have the hand-on sections. Now, what is helping babies breathe? Though this term is a new one for you guys, but it is a well-known program for our pediatricians and gynecologists in all over the Bangladesh, and it has been started from the year 2009. Okay, and this and helping babies breathe, or HBB, what is this? It is an evidence-based educational program to teach neonatal resuscitation techniques in resource-limited areas like developing countries like Bangladesh, India, others. And this HBB is an initiative of American Academy of Pediatrics in collaboration of WHO, USAID, and a number of global health organizations. Nowadays, we all train the all personnel like doctors, medical paramedics, nurses, birth attendants, teach helping babies breathe. Because the objective of HBB is we have to improve the capacity of the birth attendants to resuscitate newborn and manage parental asphyxia in the facility and in the community to reduce the neonatal mortality. That means the same point, we have to treat them how to initiate breathing within 1 golden minute of life in a newborn. And this program has been continuing by WHO and USAID throughout the Bangladesh till now, and it is the national program nowadays helping babies breathe. So you have to know this for Bangladesh. Now, I have mentioned earlier about golden 1 minute. What is that golden 1 minute? You have to keep your mind and you remember this point, the golden 1 minute. I have already mentioned the key concept of golden minute is that the baby should be breathing well or should be ventilated with bag and mask within golden 1 minute. That means by any means you have to start breathing or give oxygen to this newborn baby within 1 golden minute of life. Why this golden 1 minute is so important? What will happen if the patient breathes after 1 minute or 3 minutes? You all know there will be hypoxia of brain within 3 minutes of life. And then subsequent the consequences of parental asphyxia and so on. So this is why the golden 1 minute is so important, and it identifies the steps that a birth attendant must take immediately after birth within 1 minute to evaluate the baby and stimulate the breathing. Now, before any birth, we have to take some preparation. The preparation should be regarding the personnel who will be a helping hand. You should prepare the area for delivery in home or either hospital. It may be a normal labor or in the cesarean section. You should wash your hands properly and you should make an area for resuscitation of the baby. Now, come to the point, the steps of hand washing. Regarding this pandemic of COVID-19, all of you are almost known to this hand washing. But we, the pediatricians and gynecologists, are well known to this program a long ago. We are happy that we are having all of you now in this hand washing program. The steps I will discuss later on in my hands-on training, and you will do the steps with me at that time. Okay. Now, the important equipments of resuscitation. You have to remember that, because without preparing the instruments for resuscitation, you will not be able to resuscitate properly. What will we need? We will need a pair of gloves, 2 pieces of clean clothes, clean cotton clothes of 2 pieces, okay? Head covering if possible, scissors or BP blade to cut the umbilical cord, ties or umbilical clamp to clamp the umbilicus, manual suction device, ventilation bag mask, stethoscope, and a timer. It may be a clock or watch. Why we need this timer? Because it will make us alarm that your 1 minute, golden 1 minute is passing by, please hurry. Please start ventilation within 1 minute. That's why the timer is so important. Now, this is the main step of the helping babies breathe. This flowchart includes all the steps of newborn resuscitation in a single view. And now I am going to just read out the flowchart so that when I will go on hands-on training, it will be easy for you to remember. First of all, when a baby delivers, he may start crying immediately after birth without any resuscitation or without any touch. So what should we do? If the baby starts crying or not crying immediately after delivery, we should dry and warm, make the baby warm. During drying, the baby may cry and Then we should check his color, his respiration and tone. If they are all normal, we should cut the umbilical cord and apply the clamp, and we should give 7.1% chlorhexidine. It is an antiseptic to prevent umbilical sepsis. And then the baby will be given to mother to keep warm and start exclusive breastfeeding. I repeat, 7.1% chlorhexidine should be given only one time, single use, once daily. It will be given immediately after delivery and the dose is over. It prevents umbilical sepsis. Now, if the baby doesn't cry during the drying, what should we do? We should clear the airway and stimulate breathing. How? I will show you later. If still the baby doesn't cry, we should cut the cord, umbilical cord, and we should cry for help because we need an assistant to ventilate the baby. But immediately after clearing the airway and stimulating the baby, if he doesn't cry, we should immediately take the baby and start bag mask ventilation with the ambu bag or ventilation bag mask within 1 month. And at the beginning, we should give 5 inflation breaths. If still not improve, we should improve ventilation, we should check the heart rate and so on, which I will show in my later part of the presentation. Now, this is some part of the Helping Babies Breathe where you can see the immediate newborn care. Although I have mentioned that every baby should be dried immediately after birth. He should remove the wet cloth and wet things should be removed. But you should remember there is an exception if the baby is meconium stained. I repeat, meconium stained. Meconium is the passage of the intestine in case of newborn. If the baby is meconium stained, you should not dry the baby. First of all, you should clear the airway of meconium. You should remove the skin, you should use the bulb sucker to clean the airway. And after that, you should start the drying. Because what will happen? If you try to dry the baby first before clearing the airway, the baby will cry and the meconium will be aspirated to his lungs and he will have aspiration pneumonia, which is fatal, sometimes fatal for the newborn. So please remember, if the baby is meconium stained, what should we do? We should clear the airway even before drying the baby. And it is the exception of neonatal resuscitation. In other words, these are all normal. And I have already mentioned, if the baby doesn't cry, what should we do? If the baby is crying, then the baby, you see in this picture, you can see that this baby is pale blue in color. That is, he is not crying, he is cyanosed. And the color is pink on here and he is vigorously crying. So I can say that the baby is well enough. In this baby, will be sent for routine care. What is routine care? Nothing. We should keep the baby warm and check breathing periodically for his rest. And I have already mentioned how to cut and what to apply on the umbilical cord, like 7.1% chlorhexidine, single apply. And of course, we should start and encourage breastfeeding as soon as possible. It is the most important part of routine care. And if the baby doesn't cry, that is the cyanosed baby, what should we do? We should think for our golden 1 minute that we should position the head. What is the head? The head is neutral in position. What is the neutral? It is neither flexed nor hyperextended. It is a slightly extended position of the neck, neutral during resuscitation. We have to clear the airway, provide stimulation, evaluate breathing, and ventilation with bag and mask by 1 minute. This is the step I have already mentioned, and don't be afraid. I will show you on my workshop. Now, this is in a nutshell of the total resuscitation, which I have shown previously by part. What should we do? We should dry, wrap, and stimulate the baby and assess the color, which should be pink on air. The tone should be normal, neither hypertonic, neither hypotonic. Breathing should be regular, and heart rate should be more than 100 per minute. If it is not possible, or if the baby is still not breathing, we should open the airway neutral position by jaw thrust. Then, still not crying, we will start 5 inflammation breathing by the bag mask ventilation. And again, after giving the 5 inflation breath, we should reassess the color, tone, and breathing heart rate. If still the baby doesn't show any sign of respiration, then our assistant will count the heart rate. If the heart rate is below 60, we should try to give chest compression along with ventilation by bag and mask. And if the heart rate is more than 60 per minute, we should continue only back mask ventilation. Okay, and the ratio of chest compression to ventilation will be 3:1. Okay, now we will have the practical resuscitation session now. Okay. Okay, first of all, before going to the practical part, I have shown that there are preparation of the bird. Do you remember? We have shown a slide. There was preparation of the personnel, preparation of the place, and hand washing, and then the change of equipment. Now, I want to show the steps of hand washing to you now, and I want that all of you should practice this session with me. You will do all the steps with me. I know you all know by this time the steps. Still, we have to give some emphasis on hand washing because only simple hand washing can prevent 80% of neonatal sepsis. Study has shown that. Okay. Now I am giving the slide of hand washing now in front of you, and I will show the steps. Okay. First of all, what should we do? You have to remove all your ornaments and other belongings like the rings, bangles, and the wristwatch, everything, okay? And if you wear full sleeve, you should fold the sleeve of your hands up to the elbow so that this part of your hand, from hand up to elbow joint, remains free and for ready to resuscitate a baby, okay? Now, before starting the hand wash, we have removed all our belongings. Then what should we do? We should wash our hands in running tap water. Oh, most important part is I want that all of you should practice the steps of hand washing with me. Okay. First of all, I am giving my hand under the running tap water. Okay. And we will use any type of soap. It may be a liquid hand soap or any type of soap that we use to wash our hands. You will make a lots of foam with this soap. Okay. And after you are convinced that so many foam is on your hand, then you will start the steps of hand washings. Okay. Each step should be done for 6 times. If you remember the picture I have shown in your slide, first of all, you should do palm to palm step of hand washing. What is that? You will do for 6 times. And I want that all of you please do it with me. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we will have palm with the dorsum of hand with finger interlocking. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, vice versa on this end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then what will we do? The third step is palm to palm with finger interlocking. So that means these areas of the finger will be cleaned up in this step. What will we do? Again 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then can you remember this part back of our fingers and knuckles are free. So the fourth step is we will clasp our hand like this. We will use our thumb to clean our knuckle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And also this part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we will come about the thumb. We will rub our thumb, but not like thumbs up, like thumbs down. You will rub your thumb like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the opposite hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the fingertips. How will we wash them? Just this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Finally, you will give just a single time hand wash over the wrist joint. Done. Then what will we do? We will again put our hands under the running tap water, rinse well, and make it dry for resuscitation of the baby. If you want, you can use the hand sanitizer, no problem. And then you will wear the gloves for resuscitation. So let's have a quick recap of the hand wash. First of all, palm to palm, 6 times, okay? Palm with dorsum of the hand with finger interlocking 6 times. Vice versa, palm with dorsum, palm to palm with finger interlocking, clasp with the knuckles and the back of the fingers like this. Thumb 6 times on both sides and fingertips. Finally, it is done. Okay, now what will we do? After that, you should always keep in mind that after hand washing, you should keep your hand upright in this position. Not this, not this. You is not allowed to touch anything you want. Okay. After you have washed your hand, you are sterile to receive the baby. Then we will wear the gloves. Okay. As long as I know, because you all know how to wear the surgical gloves, because it is the mainly it is taught by the surgical department. So I am not wasting my time on that. Rather, I will going to the part of my resuscitation. Okay. Now, I am ready for resuscitation. But before resuscitation, what should we do? Our fourth point was to check the equipments for what will. Okay. Here we will have some 2 pieces of clean cotton clothes. Okay. Oh, then we will have the ventilation bag mask or ambu bag. This is the bag and it is the mask. We will need a manual bulb sucker. We will need a gauze piece to remove any type of dirt. For umbilicus, we will need the umbilical clamp, or you may use the tie for umbilical cord clamping. And this is the 7.1% chlorhexidine I have already mentioned. We should apply it on the umbilicus for cut. Again, we will need the most important part. We all know our stethoscope. Why should we need it? We need it to check the heart rate. Okay. And number 8 is our clock. Why should we need clock for resuscitation? To remind you about the golden 1 minute that your time is running. Now, let's start the main part of our today's session, the most important part, that is how to resuscitate a baby. First of all, we are ready by we've all check our equipments. And another part I have not shown in this session, all of you should make your assistant ready and make him give him brief instructions about what should he do or nothing. We all know in hospitals with all our health personnel, we know what to do. But if you are having this delivery done at a home or in the upazila level, sometimes you may have to use the family member as your assistant. At that time, you have to make him understand. Also, make his hands wash and be prepared with gloves like you, how to manage. Okay, now let's start our presentation now, our main workshop today. Oh, breastfeeding. This is the normal routine care. Now, if the baby doesn't cry during this procedure, what was we doing? We just dried the baby, we removed the wet cloth, and we have wrapped him with the second one and found that the baby is not breathing properly or there is difficulty in breathing. What should we do? Immediately, we should keep the baby in lateral position. We should remove the secretion which come out with a gauze piece, and we will use a bulb sucker. How to use this bulb sucker? You have to create the negative pressure, press it, and first of all, you will introduce into the baby's nose, and then release, it will come out. Then you will drop the secretion. Then again, you squeeze the bulb, and after that, also remove the secretion. You will give gentle manual sucker only 2 times. Still, after that, what will you do? We will find his, remember, he should be kept covered, because hypothermia is another cause of not crying. And you will find it only 2 times, 1, 2, and very gently. After that, you will rub his back. Okay, if you want to see like this, I can show you. Rub his back with the ulnar border of your, by slapping the baby. Okay, it is very, very unethical. It is totally banned that you should slap the baby or you should keep the baby upside down to cry. It is totally prohibited now. Then please don't do that, because it causes intracranial hemorrhage. So what was the baby was not crying after drying. We have just removed the secretion from his, keeping in lateral position, remove the secretion, give flickering on his sole, and what? And then gentle rubbing on the back. If the baby cries during this procedure, the previous procedure is same. We have to cut the umbilical cord, give clamp, and again apply chlorhexidine and hand over to mother. But we should, of course, look for color should be pink, the respiration should be regular. And if the baby doesn't cry during this procedure, what should we do? We should call for help. Okay, we should call for help and need an assistant. Okay, an assistant should be present at that time. So what should we do? The baby is not crying, and at that time, don't waste time. When the baby is still crying, you should keep the baby and position, remove, you just came to the head or head side of the baby and start immediate bag mask ventilation within golden 1 minute. And 5 inflation breaths should be given. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what I am doing? The baby didn't cry. I just came out to the head end of the baby, took the neonatal ambu bag and start giving inflation breath. That is, and during the ventilation, you should keep in mind that the mask should be well fitted to the newborn, and it should not cover the eyes, but the nose and the oral cavity should be covered. And what should we do? First of all, we should give 5 inflation breath. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we should look for the chest whether is it bulging or not. I'm sorry that it is a not real mannequin, so that I could show you the chest wall bulging or not, but we should click here. And at Sardam, I have called my assistant, please, I need help, we come here. If after giving 5 inflation breath, the chest wall doesn't bulge, what should we do? We should improve ventilation. By what? We should again clear the airway gently, whether is there any secretion or not. Then we should keep the head in neutral position, as I have mentioned, slightly extended, by giving 2 centimeter cloth under his shoulder, and again start ventilation by fitting the mask properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I am asking my assistant to please auscultate the heart rate and count the heart rate either by stethoscope or by umbilicus. And I will continue breathing. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. What is the heart rate of the baby? Is it below 60?
It's 65.
Okay, my assistant has found that the heart rate is 65. So what should we do? We will continue the bag mask ventilation. Okay, because if the heart rate is below 60, we have to start chest compression. And I will continue breathing. The chest wall is bulging or not. And what will be the rate? I should say 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. You should count in mind 1, 2, 3 and press the ambu bag. Okay. Now, again, you will please auscultate the heart rate. And I am continuing the respiration, and the rate should be 40 minutes per breath. Okay, what is the heart rate?
55.
Okay, he has found the heart rate is now 55. So what should we do? He will start the chest compression along with me. Please go to the chest compression. I have already seen you. Look at his position. During chest compression, the baby should be flat, kept flat. The fingers should be placed in under arms, and his thumb should be in middle position over the sternum, right? In this position. And he will press, this is the position, okay? And your thumb should be horizontal. And these fingers are like this. Just show it them. Okay. I hope you have understand. And he will give chest compression 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then I will give 1 breath. Again, 1, 2, 3, 1 breath. 1, 2, 3, 1 breath. Make sure that your chest thumb goes inwards about ½ inch to the ½ inch depth to the thumb. Otherwise, this chest compression will be not effective. The depth you just ensure. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and I will give the ventilation. 1, 2, 3. Suppose that the baby is taking respiration. We will continue it, and after giving some compression, chest compression, again you will auscultate the heart rate, please. But don't, the man who is giving ventilation by bag mask, he should not stop. Okay, he should start with 1, 2, 3 and breathing. Okay, what is the heart rate now?
110.
Okay, my assistant has found that the respiration heart rate is 110. So what to do? We will not give chest compression. We will just cover the baby and we will continue bag mask ventilation until the baby takes spontaneous respiration. Most of the babies will start immediately when you start the bag mask baking. If all after giving resuscitation for 20 minutes, chest compression along with ambu bag ventilation. If the baby doesn't show any sign of respiration or any sign of life, then we should stop the resuscitation and the baby is no more with us. Okay, so how long we have to continue the resuscitation process? 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes of birth, he must show any sign of birth, any sign of respiration, either in difficult pattern or sustained pattern. So we keep in mind when a child needs this type of vigorous resuscitation for 20 minutes, he needs to be shifted for higher center for further ICU management or further any steps. So this is all, but for your within 1 minute, whether you can do this resuscitation or not, 1 minute should be starting this ventilation, not the whole procedure. So I am again showing the whole procedure, whether it is possible or not. Okay, so first of all, what happened? We had our baby, we have one cloth, we just try to wash him properly, right? Dry him properly. Okay, we are drying him gently, cleaning him, the axilla, the groin, these are the parts. Okay, I am removing this cloth. Then I am getting my new clothes. Okay, then I am covering him, and I assume that the baby is crying, but the covering should be this, like this. The head should be covered. I should try to tightly give this part and open this chest area for checking the respiration or not. Okay, if the baby is crying, then what should we do? We will cut the umbilical cord either by a scissor or by a VP blade. We will apply, first of all we have to apply the umbilical clamp. Okay, I have not opened it because it is only pen, not a true umbilical cord. Then you will cut the cord and you will apply chlorhexidine on the top. So what is the depth? 7.1% chlorhexidine only, single time. Okay, then you will again wrap him properly, give the mother on mother's lap or the attendant's lap, and to start breastfeeding immediately. Okay, done. If the baby doesn't cry in this step, what should we do? We will clear his airway. We will gently remove any secretion and use bulb sucker, first in the nose, then drop, then in the mouth, then drop. We will find out his tiny legs. Where is the sole? We will flicker it only 2 times. Then we will gently rub him back with the ulnar side. Okay, he should cry by this time. If he cries, then the umbilical procedure is safe. If he doesn't cry, just, or I need help, the baby is not crying, please come on, and I will turn his head. I will go to the head end or turn him towards the end, start bag mask ventilation within 1 minute. This is possible within 1 minute. And first of all, what should have to do? We should give 5 inflation breath. I repeat, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will call my assistant for help. You should auscultate and auscultate the heart rate. If it is below 60, you will start the chest compression. If it is above 60, you will do the only back mask ventilation, and it is more than 100, no chest compression is needed. But what should we do? The compression should sequence should be 3:1. 3 chest compression, 1 inflation breath. And this bag mask ventilation shouldn't be stopped until 20 minutes. And the rate of respiration is 40 breaths per minute. How can we count them? If you say in your mind 1, 2, 3, then squeeze. It's more or less 40 breaths per minute. And that's all from the hands-on training of my session. Now I am going to again share the screen for you to show the little bit of photograph. Okay. In this inverted triangle, you can see that almost 80 to 90% of the babies, they cry during the assessment or routine care. 8 to 10% of the babies cry during the drying, clearing, and suction and stimulation. Only 3 to 6% of the babies need bag mask ventilation, and only less than 1% needs chest compression and medications. What medications? Like adrenal and others. And less than 1% doesn't represent the whole thing. But if you not properly dry the baby or follow the steps from the very beginning, all of your baby may need medications. Okay, so that's why just remember, drying and stimulating the baby, drying and warming is the most important part. Here are some pictures of newborn resuscitation. These white things, do you know what are these? These are warnings caseosa. And during resuscitation, you should remember, you will not try to remove this whitish substance from the body because they are the thermal insulator. They prevent the heat loss from the baby. So they are cleaning, and the baby, you can see the baby is extremely crying vigorously. And this one I have already mentioned, the helping baby's bed during normal labor. The place of resuscitation should be on mother's lap. You see, this is the normal delivery, the baby is on the mother's lap. He or she, I don't know what is this, wearing the head cap, and also the baby is crying during the drying. This is the another baby. You see that his chest compression has been testing whether his heart rate is normal, and the baby is crying. His color is pink, and it is a normal newborn baby. And this is the picture of newborn resuscitation by applying the ambu bag properly. Here you can see the position of the chest compression. And here is also newborn resuscitation on the mannequin. One is giving chest compression and another is giving ventilation. And now thank you all for patience hearing.